Rika is a business consultancy focusing on helping businesses solve their problems of aligning their strategy with their marketing and their technology. So what are the benefits of a Progress partnership for us is that we are able to demonstrate to the market an in-depth knowledge of, I guess, one of the key digital experience platforms, and it's very aligned with our message around the customer experience and the importance of the customer experience for businesses. Digital experience platform as a term means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but I think the main thing is that it isn't a single thing. The main thing is it's a set of integrated systems and platforms that bring together a benefit of being able to provide a better digital experience to all of the audiences. We're working very closely both with the product team and the sales teams to deliver excellence, I guess, to the market and making sure that Sitefinity and DEC products are implemented properly. A lot of different permutations, a lot of different software suppliers, a lot of different integration methods were analysed and summarised and costed and presented back. It wasn't purely around cost, or it wasn't purely around what we were recommending, but it was around the fit with the organisation as a whole. Swindon and Wiltshire LEP's audiences are very varied, and which is one of the principal challenges I think that we had. Developing personas to start with was a real process of making sure that we didn't overcomplicate and to keep things simple to start with, and know that as the platform matured and the usage matured, we would be able to revisit and refine and extend the understanding that we have. It's also about making sure that you're addressing some of the priority areas first. Certain business sectors are sort of high growth, scale-up organisations, and the initial work was really to understand those audiences first, and then let the platform help us self-discover over time where the usage was coming in other areas and help us build out the content strategy and the communication strategy that broadened as we went along. So I think in terms of personalisation, the strategic vision was to implement personalisation to assist with engaging the very diverse audience in terms of size of business, stage of business, number of employees, location, to address them in a way that was contextually relevant. It's no point talking to a strategist in Dyson in the same way as it is talking to a solopreneur about funding, because the requirements are totally different. And so we needed to develop a way of actually making sure that the content that people were consuming and could discover was relevant to their specific context, and personalisation is the perfect tool for that. However, it's not a straightforward endeavour. It takes a lot of time and effort, and it takes also an understanding of where personalisation is actually going to add value, and also to make sure that you have the correct structures and content in place to be able to actually support it. Because personalisation done badly is worse than no personalisation at all. One case that springs to mind was the Salisbury Novichok incident, where a large number of Salisbury businesses were hugely impacted by the issue and the lack of visitors and footfall in shopping and tourist spots. And so the LEP's response naturally aligned with the council and central government was to try and get information and support to those affected businesses. And with Sitefinity, DEC, the LEP were quickly able to produce and provide support materials that were targeted at exactly the right people at exactly the right time. Scale-up businesses are really strategically important segment for the LEP. Those businesses that are showing all those signs of being able to rapidly scale and to generate revenues and employment opportunities within the region to support those. And there are a number of different factors and signals that those organisations show when they're looking at the content on the various hubs that comprise the LEP solution. And so being able to identify those, be able to target them with useful content, specific mail campaigns, to bring them back, and then to be able to work with the information that we were being fed and provided by the DEC to actually help enrich the CRM so that now they have much better understanding of some of those organisations and their needs and where they are, such that that can then be used in turn to provide better support and to signpost those organisations to more relevant funding and support as they grow. So in terms of analytics, most businesses will be looking at their web analytics, Google Analytics and such, and being able to understand the what question of what are people doing when they are going to the website and when they're looking around and visiting. But often that doesn't really uncover the why. So the DEC coupled with GA, coupled with the intelligence coming from HubSpot CRM and also from the other integrated parts of the digital experience, which will include Hotjar, will include Eventbrite and various other data sources within the council and across the LEP. All of that information combines to be able to paint a much richer picture of exactly what is happening and why it is happening. So DEC is fundamental in being able to understand and react and respond to those questions, and part of the predictive analytics capability within DEC can uncover some customer journeys that, and conversions that otherwise would have been perhaps hidden using other technologies. There was a document that detailed some information for startup organisations that was a relatively underutilised document, but what the DEC uncovered was that those visitors that consumed and downloaded that content were much more likely to become community members than any other part of the website. So a campaign was conceived to surface that content, to push it out into email, to social media campaigns, and that was instrumental in really kicking off the momentum that is now behind the community and growing it and establishing a place where other organisations can contribute content and they can have a dialogue with each other too. So in terms of benefits to the Swindon and Wiltshire LEP, I think those benefits are better framed as benefits to the businesses that they serve, because the improved capability in terms of content, free access to valuable, meaningful, contextually relevant, personalised content has had a huge benefit and allows the LEP to do their job better, which is direct those funds to the organisations that need it most or would benefit most in the most appropriate way. So with the LEP being charged by the central government to distribute government, local and European funds diligently, I think the platform itself has helped to deliver that. For the businesses, they now have a greater awareness of the LEP. They now have a greater understanding of how to access the support and services that it provides, and they have a genuinely useful, free pool of expert-provided information that helps them through all stages of their business life cycle. In terms of how a multi-site, unified digital platform has benefited the the LEP. It has simplified their work processes. It has enabled them to be able to share content and also to be able to quickly respond and react to a very changing business and political environment in the most efficient and effective way. They are there to help and assist businesses such that the economic well-being of the area is enhanced, and that agility, the ability to reach them accurately, and also to do this all, from a self-managed perspective. They don't need to ring anybody else up to do stuff. They don't need to be charged any money to do stuff. They have all of this in their own gift, and the way that the team itself have grown and grasped the capability has been really rewarding from our perspective to see. It shouldn't be underestimated the amount of time that a platform needs to be in place to gather these insights and to start being able to actually genuinely uncover information that you didn't have before, and also the gradual upskilling of the team itself to be able to interpret what the platform and the data is showing, and to be able to respond in a meaningful way to that. The team within the LEP have all been hugely committed to learning more, being challenged, and doing things differently. And that's the mark, I guess, of a true digital transformation project.